The following boards are fully released, undergoing pre-orders, or teased by manufacturers as of May 2023. I'll be going over their specs, order status, and price. For more details and links, please check down below in the description section. These are not affiliate links, I'm just doing this for fun. If you find this helpful, please like and subscribe as it will help the channel grow. Thanks and enjoy. First on the list is Onsra Velar. Onsra Velar starts at $2,390. Pre-order has already started, but the delivery won't happen until July of 2023. One of the unique features of this board is actually a swappable truck mounting position. You can actually lower or raise the position of the truck depending on your needs, so I think that is super cool. It has a 34 miles range on the AT wheels, 14S4P using Samsung 50S cells. It has about 1000 watt hours. It could potentially go up to 43 miles per hour, which is blazing fast. It's powered by two giant 6384 motors. So yeah, this board is something that I'm super excited about, and that's also something that I'll be pre-ordering. So if you wonder how this board will perform, please subscribe to the channel to find out more about this board in the future once I get it. The second on the list is the Acedeck X1 2023 edition. The 2023 edition starts at $19.99. Pre-order has already started, and they estimate to start shipping at the end of May from China. So what's been upgraded for the Acedeck X1 2023 edition? The main upgrade is the all-new gear drive system. It was on a belt drive system, and it's got a new ESC which can now provide power up to 90 amps, which is about roughly 80% more power. It's got a new TKP truck, much better looking and stronger, and its top speed hasn't really changed, but it's now using a gear drive system. And it's only $100 more than the older Acedeck, so I think this is super worth it if you're looking into the Acedeck system. The next is the Acedeck N1 Nomad. There's about 3 editions. The cheapest one starts at $13.99. Standard order has already started, and I think their inventory has almost made it to the USA warehouse, and it's about to be ready to be shipped, but it's still kind of in a pre-order stage. The top speed is 37 miles per hour, range is about 35 miles. The amps for the ESC, the cheapest version has a 60 amp, and then the middle and the upper range has 90 amp ESCs. I highly do recommend that you upgrade to the one that's in the middle. They're slightly higher than the base model, so that you get the higher ESCs to take full advantage of the battery stack that's inside of the board. And you also do get the belt and gear drive options. The gear drive comes in with the second most expensive option, so make sure you get that. The third one is the Acedeck Stella S3. The Stella S3 looks like a mid-range longboard that starts at $7.99. It's got a top speed of 28 miles per hour, which really isn't that impressive, and the total range is about 22 miles, which again isn't that impressive. Then again, the price is only $7.99, so it's a pretty good mid-range board that has a 13S2P Samsung battery stack that's using 40T cells, which is pretty reputable cells. It's got a watt-hour capacity of 374 watt-hours, so everything checks out. The price looks pretty good. So that's the Stella S3, and they also have the Stella Mini, which is kind of like a surfboard type of skateboard. It starts at $6.99. Every single spec about the Stella Mini is exactly the same as the Stella 3, except the board is smaller. Now we have the Propel Pivot GT and S. So right now we don't know anything about the Pivot other than the pictures that Propel has showed. We don't know when it's going to come to the warehouse, when it's going to start selling, but I think it's going to be relatively soon, within May and June month, because everybody's launching boards during this time, and if you missed out, you might miss out opportunities. So stay tuned. If I find out more about the Pivot, I'll definitely be putting that into the descriptions down below. The next is Propel Endeavor 2 GT. So the GT is something very interesting. It starts at $19.99. The pre-order has already started. The only thing different about the GT and everything else is that it has an integrated LED lights and is using a customized FOC ESC. Nearly everything else looks about the same as the other Endeavor models. Next up is the Backfire X. I actually have this board already. It is fully released. It is shipping today from USA warehouses. The cool thing about this board is that it has an ice blue LED system that goes around the entire board, and it has a 14S2P Samsung 50S battery stack at 504 watt hours. So this board is extremely powerful and it looks extremely cool. It's one of the hottest boards of the year. I already have it. I think it's super worth it, so make sure you check out this board. The Xela X sister board, the Backfire S2, is also released at the same time. It's got the purple LED system. It's got a much lower range at 20 miles range, so that means it's much lighter. It also uses a 14S2P battery stack, but it's not using the 50S batteries. It's using a 40T. This is a much less aggressive board. The motors are only 875 watts, but is much cheaper at about $800. So if you're just looking for that show board and you want that attention, you don't want to go that fast, you're just carving on the street with a maximum amount of flexibility with a flexible deck, then the Backfire S2 is the right one for you. The next one is the Hidan Mainframe. These are basically the Hidan boards, but with a blue or red main board looking color around the deck. It has a see-through clear battery housing in which you can see all the battery cells, which is actually pretty cool. This is a $300 increase from the standard Hidan model. They only made 10 units in each color, so it's all sold out for now. But I do think this is a test run for more in the future, because there is a dedicated web page for this specific model. I really don't think that Evolve will spend all that trouble to make a really good landing page for just 10 items, for really just 10 units of something. I think there's going to be more coming. The next is the B1 Delrog S and the B1 Delrog H. These are already fully released, starting at $809. They're shipping today. These are your mid-range, your classic mid-range board. It's belt drive, has 1000 watt motors. It uses 12S2P system, Samsung 40T batteries at 355 watt hours. So capacity is really small. It's a mid-range board. Next, we have the Metro Board X22. The Metro Board X22 is already fully released. It starts out at $32.99 with integrated LEDs. It uses a Stormcore 60D Plus. It's got a 12S 4P system at 644 watts that can go about 15 miles in range and has 6374 motors. To be honest, I think the Metro board is about $1,000 too expensive, and I do think the Metro Board X22 specs are super underwhelming for $3,300. Yeah, about 3 years ago, the Metro boards are like top, right? All of the specs that they have are top of everything. Not only are you paying for good quality, you're paying for really good specs as well. It's just sad to see in 2023 all the specs on the Metro board are like 2021 and 2020 specs. These are not very good specs for a $3,300 board. Next, you have the VStar Offspring Carbon. This board is already fully released. It's at $1,649. It's got integrated LEDs that looks awfully like the Evolve Hadians, and it's got the carbon fiber deck. It's got a 13S 4P battery stack. It uses Samsung 40T cells, and the battery capacity comes in at 748 watt hours. So this board actually looks pretty good for its price and the functionalities. So it looks pretty good. And then we got the Amboy Endurance. The Amboy Endurance is at $2,599. It's got the forged carbon fiber deck. It can go up to 50 miles in range, and it can go up to 35 miles per hour. It's got a 1450 watt hour capacity using a 12S 8P battery stack. And also what's cool is that it's using the VX4 remote. It's got complete color LEDs on it, so it looks really, really nice. This board again is fully released. It's one of the better boards this year. If I had the money, I would definitely buy this and review it, but currently I don't. The Flipski Lightning, there's two different variations. The variation that I'm looking at starts at $23.99. It's got 62 miles of range. It can go up to 46 miles per hour. It's got got a 14S system using Molicel P42A battery cells. It's also using the VX4 remote. This is one of the most powerful looking boards of this year. Definitely something super exciting. This is already fully released. This is on my radar as well as a review board. So please let me know down below whether if you're interested in seeing reviews of anything that I'm mentioning today. Thank you. Next is the Onboard Carbon Zeus Max all-wheel drive. This is an all-wheel drive board starting at $1949. It's got Molicel P42A battery cells in it. It's got almost 1,000 watt hours in terms of battery capacity. It's got 4 65/74 belt motors. These are huge motors on every single wheel. The acceleration must be insane. It's got a 37 miles per hour top speed and a 28-mile range. And you get free shred lights when you buy this board. So this is one of the most powerful boards for this year as well. It's fully released. You can buy it now. And then there's the Wheel ADV Pro. This is basically a VSC powered one wheel, and you can only buy this using crypto. I've already pre-ordered this board and I'm expecting to get it in about a month or two, so be sure to stay for review on this one. Basically, if you're sending crypto to someone, you can never get it back, right? So it's a lot of risk that I'm taking to buy this board and review it. So if you're interested, please let me know. I'll definitely be reviewing it once I get it. So the next couple of boards that I'm going to be talking about, I do not know their specs. They have simply been announced, but nothing is kind of set in stone. The first is the Walgo 3E. It's a belt drive board with a handle. It's probably a mid-range board at best, since it's got the handle. I've never seen a premium board with a handle before, so it looks interesting. I'll definitely be updating down below and updating my website when I get more information on this board. It's the same thing with this Meeple, really green looking board that they're still trying to name right now. It's a belt drive and will also have a hub option. Looking at the specs, is probably going to be priced under the Voyager. The Voyager is currently $1,000, so you're probably looking at $800 to $700 for this board. Next, other speculation boards. These are the boards that I'm completely guessing right now that I would like to see based on current track record of these companies. The first one is the Walgo AT3. The Walgo AT2 is the one that I fell in love with. It is so good. So I can't wait to see what Walgo AT3 is going to look like. The next one is the Backfire Hammer line. The Backfire Hammer launches something new every year. So I expect them to launch something on the Hammer line, which is their premium longboard line, right? Next, we have X-Way Atlas. I expect some sort of Pro or Pro Ultra upgrade for their Atlas line. And lastly, the Meeple Hurricane. I think Meeple Hurricane launched their Vader line a while back, but I do expect Meeple to probably launch something really cool with the Hurricane really soon. So that's it. That's all I have for now. Please let me know if I missed anything, and let me know what your favorite release of this year is, regardless of what the price is, right? So let me know and down below and on which boards you would like to see reviews on, and I'll try my best to get my hands on it and review it for you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.